socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on Atn Politics today.
Thank you for staying with us. Joining me on the conversation today is a communication strategist and social political analyst, Victor Nyiche. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. All right then. And now to the story. The All Progressives Congress in the South-South Zone has said it is confident of victory in the forthcoming Edo State governorship polls during a stakeholders meeting called to address issues in the party in the zone. Basi Otu, who remains the only PC governor in the zone, promised to lead the party to victory in the forthcoming Edo State governorship elections. He stressed that having been conferred with the responsibility of zonal leadership of the party, he would work very hard towards the sustenance of unity and peace in the region. Also, Zonal Vice Chairman of APC, Chief Victor Gaidom, said the meeting attended by chairmen of the party from various states within the zone resulted in a unanimous decision to work in synergy to strengthen the party in the zone and ensure the party emerges victorious in the forthcoming Edo State governorship election. Clearly, we can see that the APC doesn't have much of a stronghold, so to say. I mean, because in the South-South, the ruling party mostly is the PDP, and Cross River happens to be the only state where the APC is the ruling party. Yeah. And here, the governors of the party in the South-South zone have come together, ensuring that the party emerges winner in the state. And that is to say that they want to take over power from the ruling party. And you and I know that in the history of Nigeria's electoral system, it is very difficult for an incumbent government to lose to any party, as it were. So what do you make of this?
Well, I think it's just basically what politics is. At this point, PDP is in the opposition, so of course they would want to retain us. Like they have, like we know, in the South-South. I think APC is I think the dominant party in the South-South. So basically for them is a struggle to keep the little power they have, because that's where the strength of the PDP right now. You mean
PDP is the dominant party?
Yes, in the South-South. I mean, so that is why you see them. You know, everybody is struggling to ensure, but I don't think they're doing enough. They are basically doing what every political party would do. If you ask me, for a situation as at now, where Nigerians are very, very sensitive about, you know, the quality of leadership, you know, being offered by any party, you know, it's more not even about political parties these days. I mean, people want to look at individuals, even though we've not got the battle.
So do you think they stand a chance if they... Okay, two questions. The first would be, how much, you said they need much work to be done,
of course,
apparently.
Yeah.
What aesthetics are we looking at? What kind of work are we talking about here?
Well, I think it's going to be more of how well they can sell the candidate, you know, of the PDP in the election. I mean, the candidate of the PDP is also an incumbent, you know, considering the fact that the person living in the office now is also a PDP governor, you know, so that advantage for them is there. But if you remember, the dynamics has changed a bit. Before this time, we had just the likes of PDP and APC fighting for this power. But now, you know, there's a third party now, which is the Labour Party, you know, which The NMPP, yeah, and interestingly, it's going to be it's not like a two-horse race like it used to be, where it will be fight to the finish. Now there's a dividing factor where you have, if you make a small mistake, you can have the Labour Party candidate or the NPP party candidate topple you. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. It's an opportunity for us to how well Nigerians have woken up in the sense of electing people based on their individual capacity. But you can also not take away the influence of, first, the federal government influence in this election, no matter how much you want to play that. There's going to be that influence. But there's also the influence of the incumbent. Don't forget, the PDP in itself also has a challenge with what's his name? The former deputy governor that was impeached, is also there. I'm sure he's going to play a role. At some point, he just pitch a tent. Instead of me not to have it, everything she just scatter. So there's that possibility there. So it's going to be an interesting race, and I like the fact that there are several options, to pick from. So yeah, the bulk now stops in the hands of the people, to take the major decisions. So I think it's going to be interesting, and it's not an APC or Labour or any other party, but it's going to be interesting. I think this is where we want to see how effective the people, the decision of the people, individuals in the state, the person that becomes governor of the state. Okay,
you mentioned two core factors that could influence the outcome of the election, which is the influence of the incumbent government, and as well the influence of the federal.
Two incumbent.
Yeah, so we have two, right? And I said I was going to ask you two questions. Now, here comes the second one. What chance do you think the APC has race Edo State?
Well, I think they have a good chance. Not so much of an advantage over PDP, but one major factor that we cannot deny in our political system at this time is the influence that federal government, or the power, the seat of power at the federal level plays in our local elections. So you cannot deny that fact, that alone gives them an advantage. I mean, one of the things that APC would want to do, because I'm sure every other party is preparing for, while some of the parties are trying to gather as much as they could, the APC are also preparing for 2027. I'm sure the president would want to dominate as much as possible. So he would want to, at least in the South have at least, he just wants one state, I think Akwa Ibom state, that has a governor from the APC.
No, so Cross
Rivers, sorry. So I'm sure he would, the president would like to see South belonging to the APC. So that for me, I think, would be of the people, how well and how effective the people are willing to participate in this particular process, because I think they are presented with a lot of options. So I think the role the people will play will determine a long way where this particular one swings to. That's what I think.
The role the people will play?
Yes.
All right then, we will go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions in politics, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on Atn Politics today. Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker. You are a human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now to the rest of our stories. Some members of the People's Democratic Party and Labour Party have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress at Ndufu Alike Ward in Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State. Receiving the defectors at Ndufu Alike Junction, the member representing Ikwo Eza South Federal Constituency at the National Assembly, Chinedu Oge, commended their move into the ruling party, appreciated the leaders of the party in the ward for their roles and commitment in the party, assuring the defectors of inclusiveness, and urged the people of Ndufu Alike Ward to continue to support the good administration of Governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Onwifuru. In their separate speeches, some of the defectors from the PDP and Labour Party described their former parties as weak in the state, promising to work hard to give the party forceful weight at the grassroots at all time. Now recall that in February 2024, no fewer than 15,000 members of the People's Democratic Party defected to the APC in Ohazara local government area of Ebonyi State. And we can also recall that in 2022, now we are talking about defection. Defection, it's like, part of the politics in the Nigerian system. We see how that politicians defect from one party to the other for one reason or the other. And in 2022, we saw how that the governor of the state, Ebonyi State, was sacked alongside his deputy and 15 others for defecting from the PDP. Now, here comes the question. Reasons have been, given from different defectors as to why they defect. Some say, according to these ones here, who just recently defected from PDP and LP.
When you look at our democracy, one of the challenges that we have weak opposition. And that's happening because the ruling party will always want to weaken the opposition. They do it in such a way that we've weaponized poverty. And because we've weaponized poverty, if you are not with the ruling party, you just know that you have 4 years to stay without contract, without money, without anything. That's how we do our politics.
But is that a problem?
Yes, it's a problem.
Because, politics is a game. And so everyone has to play to be relevant.
The people who told us politics is a game were saying that, and fairness was the word, the context of fairness. And for us Nigerians, when we say politics is a game, we were saying it's a win, it's a do or die affair. You must win. You must win at all costs. That's what we mean. And so what happens with the opposition, when you are in the position, you do not have the chance to play politics, and you can see the dividends of democracy. I've heard a governor in this country a few weeks back was trying to say, we didn't walk this road because there was a particular opposition member that was here. And those are comments if you make in countries where they understand that politics is not about you. There is politics, there is governance. You may lose your seat. Even if that's your intent, you just keep quiet. So when you hear we will strengthen the party, this party is weak, what makes the party weak is membership. What makes the party weak is the resources that they have to do things, how vocal they are. So it is so common with our politics that when you are in a ruling party, either state level or local government level, every other person that is not part of your party, you want to see them hungry. You want to see this. I keep saying this: increase in poverty is what brings increase in loyalty in our politics. So that's what's happening. They are all running to the ruling party, and it's like a circle. We are going around a circle. So I listened. You were reading that out, and in my mind I was saying, are these people serious? Because we should be doing politics, and the opposition, you are making sure that the government is doing well. You're making sure that the standard of living is high and the cost of living is low, and the people can talk about social welfare, the people can talk about human capital development, and you as an opposition party, you are checkmating the ruling party, and they are delivering. But right now, whether you are checkmating them, you are not checkmating them, what am I going to eat is a factor in our politics.
But if you say, people defect, party members defect to the ruling party owing to interest, so to say, owing to, as you have explained, the ruling party is always powerful and weakens the opposition parties. How about in 2022, when the governor, his deputy, and 15 others defected from the PDP shortly after winning the elections? What can you say about that?
Check notes. They were moving from the PDP to APC, the ruling party too. Yes, that's what they were doing. Governor Dave Umahi was positioning himself for national politics.
Okay.
Yes, that's what he was doing. He of course, I rate him as one of my favorite politicians. And he was being very futuristic as well. But there was a verdict, and a lot of people were making noise. The governor would leave his seat. And I was telling people, it won't happen. It won't happen because the ruling party, you see a man as wonderful, powerful, let me use that word, as Dave Umahi, and you will do everything to protect his interest because you have him with you. Okay. Yes, so it's always moving from the weaker party to the stronger party, moving from the party that has the disadvantage at the center. That's what Dave was doing.
So even if PDP won at the time, they were still the weaker party?
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say?
Yes, they were still the weaker party. at that point.
Okay, Mr. Victor, what do you have to say?
Well, I think just like he said, if we're playing in a democracy where we have parties with ideology, I could accept some of the things that the people have said as a reason for defecting, but there's no ideology. So, I mean, and we don't have an election. So defecting from one party to the other, I don't really see how that makes sense for the people. I don't see how that helps governance in the state or the country, because, I mean, whether you like it or not, your duty as a citizen, a responsible citizen, is to respect the leadership and obey the rules and regulations of that particular society. So whether you're an APC, LP, PDP, SDP, whichever party, you owe the state a responsibility, which is to live by the rules and regulations of that particular society. So moving from PDP to APC and saying the PDP is weak, I mean, for me, I think that statement doesn't really make sound. There's no value in it. It's just an excuse.
Yeah, it's just an excuse.
It's just an excuse because, okay, the party is only as strong as the people. It is the people that make up the party.
Said that the ruling party tends to weaken, the opposition parties. If that be the case, then how can these opposition parties strengthen themselves amidst the efforts of the ruling party to weaken them?
Okay, Gloria, I've said that. And we're talking about politics of ideologies, and I've said over time that our political parties do not even understand how to expand.
Okay.
Because if you are the chairman of an opposition party, or you are that leadership level, there is always a window that you can turn people that are not politically active to become active as an opposition. If you are bold enough, if you are outspoken, you are busy, you are visible. There are a lot of persons that are very apolitical. There are some people that are passive that you can. And oppositions in Nigeria must learn how to play politics where you don't wait till the election day before you begin to expand. In 12 calendar months, which is 1 year, there should be a time to allow new people register in the party. And also remember that every year, some persons will move into that age bracket that they can vote. And I'm a Nigerian, and I will tell you most times, that's why you say a lot of people had preference with a particular candidate. People want to see something new. And in today's world, most Nigerians who want to come over there, and then they will be prepared to go out there and do politics the way it should be done. There are too many dissatisfied or politicians who think they will not be given the opportunity in the ruling party.
Okay.
So when you get close to the election, it is your job to evangelize, to market your ideologies, to market your manifesto, to tell them that you can be very useful here, you'll be more visible and better. We don't do all that. So what happens is, if anybody will wait until the point where they lose the election and they are looking for tickets, that's where they now run like this.
Look for options.
So I want to position in Nigeria, position parties in Nigeria to know that you can passive, you can make them active, you can make them passionate about politics, make them see that you can play a role in making Nigeria better.
Okay.
And immediately you can create that and generate that interest, you will see people who come in. They don't do party, they don't do membership registration most times. You get it for 4 years, it might happen just once or twice. PDP is having a congress soon, and I'm hoping, like I think it has happened before, they create that window for people to register and become members of the party. They need to do that consistently. It has to be annually, and it will help.
Governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olayide Adelami, has described the victory of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa in Saturday's governorship primary election of the All Progressives Congress in the state as a proof of the positive impact he has made in the lives of the people within 100 days in office. Adelami, who hailed the governor for displaying an uncommon Omoluabi ethos and leadership qualities before, during, and after the election, urged other aspirants to support the governor for accelerated development in the state. Adelami congratulated the governor on his historic victory and rejoiced with members of APC for making the right choice for the state. He assured the people of the governor's unwavering commitment to pro-people programs, projects and policies all through his tenure in office. This is interesting. I'll start with Mr. Victor. Let me start with you on this particular one. You know, we've been talking about the ruling and the opposition. And remember, the ruling party lose an election. But here, we see the deputy governor of the state, applauding, or rather attributing the victory of Aiyedatiwa to his uncommon leadership qualities within 100 days in office. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just politics played. Aiyedatiwa has come through a very difficult period to becoming the governor of the state. So I was even surprised at the outcome of the number of candidates that contested the position with him. I was expecting that there would have been some sort of consensus, for him to run unopposed. But I mean, interestingly, there were a lot of challenges, and the numbers were quite much. So for me, I think good or bad, Aiyedatiwa has a lot of work to do. That's what I believe. I'm sure there still will be a lot of disgruntled people.
When you say a lot of work,
well, I mean, for him to become the governor, you know how the fight. I mean, I think he took the involvement of the president, to say a word and say this thing everybody should hands down. That was how he became the governor. I mean, it was difficult for him to even access the state house at some point. So for me, I think he's going to have a lot of work to do. It's very likely that some persons might even join the opposition because they are not satisfied with what is happening. So for me, I mean, a good one for him. Hopefully, he will have enough time to improve the so-called leadership that, I mean, that's just 100 days. I don't know how someone can use 100 days to prove, according to his deputy. Just for me, it's just political talk. But I think he has a lot of work to do, because there's been some lacuna, all the while they got the late former governor was sick, and I'm sure a lot of activities would have gone on, a lot of dynamic, a lot of things would have happened that would influence, whoever becomes the next governor. Even though, I mean, with the word of the president, I believe there should be some sort of calm. But with what happened in the primaries and the number of people that turned out to vote against, I think he has a lot of work to do. So it's going to be interesting moving forward. I mean, we'd like to see what happens and what these few days he has as governor, how much that can influence, the result of the forthcoming election. Okay,
Mr. Keel, you seem to be nodding in agreement with
yes,
Mr. Victor's take on it. What do you make of Adelami's statement?
Okay, of course, he should be saying that, because when the governor came in, he had that responsibility to pick a deputy, and somebody who picked you 3 months ago, he's so sure that he will be running on the same ticket with the governor. Most of you will say, politics is a game of interest. The first thing first there is interest. That's what he's speaking. He's talking about interest, because that ticket is a co-owner, as long as that ticket is concerned. If there's this same comment, if you read the comment online, a lot of persons were challenging the statement. What has happened that you are telling us that he performed?
Exactly.
100 days.
Yes. And honestly speaking, even people that are with the governors will also tell you that they were struggling to find answers to that. The reason why you had too many persons contesting that ticket with him, he has not been there long enough to gain that loyalty.
Exactly.
Yes, and so a lot of persons were believing, even I had that same impression, that it's going to be very tough for him to win that election. Yes. Going forward, two things will happen. One of it is because it's the ruling party and because it's Nigeria election, we understand. I don't need to say much, but because when you have those numbers, that large numbers trying to fight over its primary ticket with you, most times the challenge that you face when you have 10, 12, 13 persons against you is you have some of these numbers will move to the opposition parties, and they understand your party very well. They understand your secret. They understand your strategies, and if they align,
sometimes even more than you.
Yeah, even more than you,
In this
because
case.
he's the governor for a few months. It's not as if he's granted. Even if he was a deputy, we also know that when he was the deputy, the former governor, when he was not feeling fine, there are a lot of stories about in the sideline. You get, yes. So I have this worry that he's not going to have the loyalty of the party members as much as he will be expecting. He's going to face that challenge.
Why do you say so?
Yes, because a lot of persons are still protesting. He has won the ticket. The congratulations didn't come as it's supposed to be.
The fact that he's not stayed long enough in office, or what exactly could be?
You know, I read a story today. They said when they send the INEC officials, most of the persons that were running for that ticket with him, they said they wrote a letter to INEC. They even wrote to the party that the INEC officials that were brought in to check this election and run the elections were definitely his own people. There are also a lot of sentiment with the way everything was done. With all that sentiment and argument and dissatisfaction, a lot of persons are not going to support him. The reasons why most of them will support him, Mr. President, Atn Politics is very influential, and if he lends his voice and if he gives that plea, a lot of persons will not hear and support him. But if the presidency is not involved, I can tell you most people will not support him. And that's not good for the next election. The opposition might become stronger if he doesn't win their support. But every good politician, you are supposed to have a way of, after the election, there should be reconciliation. That reconciliation gives you the ability to bring in different persons, apologize, appease people, throw the carrot, entice people,
make deals.
And make deals. And that can help him there.
Okay, Mr. Victor, quickly before we go on to the last story, you mentioned that the governor should, he has a lot of work to do. Now, seeing that, yes, a lot of people are disgruntled with, his victory, what do you think he should be looking out for? What would you say should be his steps moving on as the new governor?
I think just Kerubaba just said it. I mean, this is a time a wise politician would, play all the cards. I mean, you want to use force where you can use force. You want to plead where you can plead. You want to make bargains where you can make bargains. At this point, I think there's not a single strategy that he should use. He should just go all out, try to win as many as possible, and also, the fact that the president has already gotten involved before this time, for him to become the governor, I think that will also play a role as to the outcome of, how much support he gets or not, But I mean, one thing President Bola Tinubu is, I don't know if I should say an intelligent or a smart man. So I'm sure he's looking at 2027. If you seem like a weak person, I'm sure he would want to make sure you're not the one on seat when he's contesting the election in 2027. So, I mean, the relationship that the governor has with the presidency and how much he's able to prove his loyalty and influence will go a long way as to where this moves to. I mean, at this point, I'm sure the president wouldn't even mind. If he's an opposition he can make a deal with that would serve his interests more, I'm sure he would do that. That's the kind of person President Bola Tinubu is. So I think it's going to play a long way how trusted he is to the president.
So are you saying that the governor should be more particular about his relationship with the president than what he has to do in the state?
Just like you said, everybody, the president, the opposition in the state, the people that contested, with him, there's no limit. He should just explore, all his options. That is, I mean, because he's still fresh to the leadership of the state. So I think there's a lot that he will need to do without having limitations to who and what.
All right then. A group known as Concerned Stakeholders in the All Progressives Congress has called on President Bola Tinubu and the National Executive Committee of APC to ensure the North Central Zone regains the national chairman position which it lost after the resignation of Senator Abdullahi Adamu insisting that the party should consider the merits of North Central from how much acceptance the president enjoys in the zone. Speaking at a press conference yesterday, a former APC national chairmanship aspirant Mohammed Saidu Etsu said in the last general election, the president polled 1,760,031 subsection 1 of the party constitution. Now, Etsu highlighted the support the president received from the zone during the 2023 general elections, which gave him 41.3% of North Central votes to defeat his closest rival in the zone by a margin of 345,436 votes. Here is this concerned group of the APC asking the president, demanding that the North Central should be given the position, should regain the position of the national chairman of APC. Now, he highlighted how much support that the president received from the party, which contributed to his victory in the North Central, and of course highlighting a part of the constitution. Now, one of the rancor that has rocked the position of the party in recent times is how that the North Central is supposed to hold that position. Yes, that position for APC. Now, what do you make of it? Do you think that this reason, which it's highlighted, right, having to do with the support and acceptance that the president has received from the North Central, do you think it's good enough as a youth advocate? Do you think that it is good enough for them to receive, to be given this position? What would you call fairness, equity, and justice in this context?
I think they are the rightful owner of that position. Yes, because someone from the North Central was the chairman before he resigned. And a lot of persons were expecting his replacement was supposed to come from the North Central. And for me, that's what I call equity and fairness. And that's what will bring that fight balance. Depriving them of that position simply means that you're saying that the North Central, they don't have someone that is capable of managing the affairs of the ruling party, which is APC. Yes. So equity and fairness in this context is pick a leader from that region. That's what it means.
So beyond the fact that the region has given the president maximum support, it is their rightful position.
Yes, it is. Like I think when you add that point, they are making a case for it.
Okay.
Yes, when you add that point, they are making a case. They are also saying we are people that can sit on these positions, and when they are when they are here, they will do well. And look at our region. We have huge support. We've embraced this party. Look at the victory that the party had from this region during the last election. You will agree that people from the North Central, we are APC. So they are trying to add that to their point. They are trying to tell you that we have people that you can pick from North Central as party chairman. And we also have this proof that there are a lot of persons in this region that are APC members, that are APC lovers, that are people who will come out and accept to vote APC. And they've proven that not too long. That's what they are saying. I don't speak about election results too much. I don't take it serious as a person. Yes, but like I always tell people, if people come out and say this particular election was rigged, and when it was rigged this area, the result was favoring these people, what it always means is that this particular party have people in this place that can do things. Yeah. That's what it means. So even when we want to do the argument and people say it was rigged, it was not free and fair, that's why they had that margin. It means there are people that can make those kind of things happen. So that's their position. Okay,
so Mr. Victor, aside being the rightful zone for that position, are there instances or circumstances that one could say that, you know, the president or stakeholders could hold on to you know, allow to occupy that position aside from the North Central? Are there any justifiable, you know, reasons why that position should be given to another zone?
Well, if you ask me if it's justifiable, I'd say no. I mean, equity, basically, you know, we operate a type of government where equity is very important, you know, to how organized or stable the government or society is. I mean, but for me, the key word in all they said is, you know, it wasn't a demand on the president. They said to allow. I mean, when I heard it, that was what caught my attention. They said that he should allow them produce. What does that tell you? It tells you everybody understands that the key in all of this is not just saying it will be equitable for them to have someone from the North Central, but telling the president that, look, we are loyal to you, we're committed to you. We have a lot of influence, like we showed in the previous election, and if you give us this trust, this opportunity, I mean, it will help us and it will help you. You know, it will be a mutually beneficial thing. And also, I think one other thing that is influencing this, I think, is a crisis that the current chairman is having. You know, this is an opportunity for them to make a statement. You know, to see if, you know, because I mean, I'm sure the APC by now would have been looking for options to make sure that this it's a plea for me. I don't see it as a demand. It's a plea. You know, I mean, hence the saying the numbers. For me, numbers they are saying it can be fictional, as a matter of fact. You know, so let's not even. It shows, yes, you have a lot of people that could influence in that direction. So what they are saying is, Mr. President, we can help you win the election. Please look at us and know that we are capable. I mean, yeah. So
okay.
that's basically what they are saying.
So how do you think this would impact the party? Do you think that it would strengthen the party, unite all interest, and of course work towards, you know, to basically unity in many ways, and of course the productivity of the party all around the nation in Nigeria?
Well, the truth is, the party at this point. So whatever decision the party takes, they have, as long as they have the support of the president, some of these factors you mentioned might not even matter. What would matter is how much trust, how much commitment the president would make for the party to move forward. Don't forget, the party chairman is just one individual. Yeah. There are other positions in the party that would determine. And I'm sure why this is coming up is there's a lot of negativity surrounding this whole chairmanship. The chairman of the party currently. So for them, getting someone from the North Central, for me, I think should be secondary to them. Primary to the president and party members should be somebody that, I mean, remember before the former Adamo resigned, there was a lot of controversies surrounding him, who is supporting, who or not. I mean, hence the resignation and all of that. So for me, I think that alone would determine where it goes to. If we're sending it to the North Central, it still boils down to the decision of the president. Is this someone I can trust? Trust me, I don't know why, but I had this conviction that the president is more focused at the election 2027 because he knows the heat he faces.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Kale, how do you think this will impact the party? Do you think that it is what the party needs, certainly in this chairmanship issue that has been rocking the party for quite a while now? Do you think it would help unite all interests across the party?
I think the conversation going on now is Dan Juje is having a lot of controversy, and there are clear indications that he might not be there for too long. It would be unfair if they reach a replacement for that position. A lot of persons from that region feel disregarded, and it will not be good for the party. That's what the party needs now, making sure that everybody is happy ahead of 2027. Okay. Yes, and that North Central bloc you can't make them feel disrespected. You can't make them feel that